Hi everybody, it's Tommy, and welcome to the lab. Making puppets is a lot of fun, but it can also be a very dangerous hobby if you're not very careful. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about safety, as well as some basic techniques that you all need to know when you are making these puppets. So let's get started. You are watching Tommy's Puppet Lab. Okay, so I have right here on this table the tools that are the most dangerous in this job. Now, the most important things that you can do is prevent. Preventing all accidents is key. One thing is safety glasses. Safety glasses is a very good thing to have. You only have one set of eyes, so one of the things that you should be wearing are safety glasses. I wear safety glasses when I am using a Dremel. This is a router tool. This thing is also very loud. So you'll need some earplugs. Now I wear hearing aids, and my hearing aids are equipped with noise cancellation technology, so I don't need it. But when you are using loud tools, please wear earplugs. And another thing is we got scissors, a razor blade, and a steak knife even works good when you are trying to saw off a piece like cardboard or something. Now this is what I need to talk to you guys about. These knives are extremely sharp. You can cut and stab yourself if you are not careful. Now I want you guys to understand how very important it is to always make sure you are cutting away from your body. So when you are cutting, my body is facing this way. Okay, this is where my body is. The correct way to cut is not this way. You do not want to cut this way, because if your knife slips, it can go right towards your body. You don't want that. Instead, cut this way. Or, actually no, you shouldn't cut that like that because you don't have good control of your knife. But you'll want to cut this way because your body isn't over there. Or you can just cut that way, just cut downwards. That's actually even safer. So, and what's even more dangerous than a sharp knife is a dull knife. You also do not want to be working with a dull knife, because dull knives slip a lot, and not only is it going to be really difficult to cut, but it will slip and it will go in unpredictable direction. Do not ever use a dull knife. Make sure your knife is sharp. And this is actually the safest length to use it on here. These things are actually, they have a guide. Because see how now you just draw it out and you can see how this blade is flush with this end here. This is the safe length for cutting, the safest. However, at times I'll actually draw it out all the way for when I'm carving and when I'm shaping. This is really, really good. But again, when your blade is out this long, you got to really, really, really be careful. And same thing for scissors. Don't cut like this. Can you see what I'm doing wrong here? My thumb is right in the way. You're going to cut yourself. Cut like that. Just make sure that all of your body parts are always out of the way when you are cutting. So I want to get that part out of the way. Okay? Then the router tool I've already explained. And then you've got yourself a hot glue gun. Now, I know it says it in the name. They're hot. You can and you will burn and blister yourself if you touch the hot end or if you get any glue on yourself. So always be careful. And make sure that you can also buy low heat glue guns. See, they have low heat glue guns. This one's a high heat because this is actually an old one. This is actually my father's. But anyway, this works really good. Lastly, I also want to cover is that I will be using some gloss finish on this channel, and they can have some fumes and vapors that can be harmful, so make sure that the room you're using it in is well ventilated. So open up a window or do it outside, or if you're going to do it inside, then you'll definitely want to wear your safety glasses, because the fumes can linger in the air and it could get into your eyes. So make sure you're wearing safety glasses as well as one of these. So if you can't afford one of these, or you don't have one, that's fine. Just make sure, just do it outside, or just make sure that you're doing it in a well ventilated area. Also, if you are very young, then you will require adult supervision. Don't make any of these crafts without help from an adult. And then also at times I will be using a drill and a screw gun here. These are actually not really dangerous, but you just gotta keep in mind here, this is very sharp. Even with just a screw bit on there or a drill bit, you can definitely hurt yourself. So just be careful when you're doing that. But yeah, anyway, those are the most dangerous tools that I wanted to cover. So now that I've covered the safety, another really good habit to be getting into is to keep your workstation clean, because a clean workstation is a safe workstation. And some of my puppets will be using strings. Just cover that strings can be that young children can strangle themselves in these things and suffocate themselves. So make sure you have adult supervision when you are using strings. So yeah, so that's about it for safety. Now let's start talking about the basics. So now I'm going to be covering the basics. So first off, I want to explain to you about the glue that I'm going to use. I use 1 part glue. And then 1 part water. And then you mix it. Make sure it is well mixed up. And then you are ready to use the glue. So I am going to show you how to use it. To get the toilet paper, I use toilet paper. You can use tissue paper, or you can use something else, but toilet paper works really good because it is absorbent. It's cheap. You can buy a huge bundle for about $20. That's actually very cheap. That's a lot. But anyway, so what you want to do is you want to wet the surface area first that you are working on. And then you I'm going to take a strip here. Now you notice that the glue is holding it into place. And then you just paste another layer of glue until the toilet paper or tissue is completely covered and wet. And when that's dry, then it'll look smoother and it'll stay on very well. It's a good idea to do about 3 layers, 3 or 4. The more you have, the smoother and the harder it'll be, but you don't want it to be too thick, because then otherwise it'll get too heavy. So anyway, that is how you put the tissue on for your puppets. Now I'm going to show you about smoothing. I like to use this knife here. I'll have it drawn out a bit away, but remember, always cut away from yourself. I can't stress that enough. Always cut away from yourself, you guys. Okay? So now you see how this end here is kind of bumpy. I'm going to cut that off. See? And now what you need to do is you just need to take some tissue and cover it. and then it'll look a lot smoother. This is how you smooth. Anyway, see now, when you look at it up close, it isn't as bumpy. And now the last part of this tutorial is I'm going to show you how to attach things. So I'm going to be attaching this toilet paper roll onto here. The best way to do it is to get a hot glue gun and glue it on here, and then we're going to put some wet paper on there and let it dry. And that is the best way to attach. So let's get this glue on. Just remember, glue is hot. If you want to wear gloves, to protect you from burns, if it makes you feel better, then please, by all means, do it. Okay, and now, what you will need to do next is once that dries and cools off and it hardens, then what you will want to do is you will want to actually cover it like this. I put about 3 layers on. Then lastly, I'm going to show you guys how to shape newspaper. Sometimes I'll ask you to crumble newspaper into various shapes, so such as a ball, or maybe as an egg, but I use masking tape. And that's how you shape newspaper. Sometimes you'll have to flatten it, and it'll change the shape. I'm just going to attach one more thing onto here. Just use some tape to get it held down. Doesn't have to be pretty. But yeah, so I guess what I made here is some kind of a shoe, I don't know. But I'm just kind of showing you guys some examples. But yes, this is another thing you will need to know. And then after that, there's a good chance that you'll have to cover it up with, you know, Alright, well, that's about all I wanted to explain. Have fun making puppets, and remember, craft safely. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now go make yourself a puppet friend.